Hi, so I am back. Earlier this morning, we were doing some yard work. Our house is still kind of like under renovation and stuff, so we did a little bit of like landscaping in front. While I was, helping my parents doing some yard work, I was thinking of like a content I want to do today. And I was thinking, hey, maybe I could tell you guys my experience in high school when I moved here. And I just got the thought, I was like, actually, you know what? I haven't really told anyone what my experiences are. I never really posted anything when I was in high school. No one really knew what it is like. And since I just moved here, a lot of my friends back home in the Philippines doesn't really know like what I do, what we have a college here, like the difference between going to high school in the Philippines and going to high school here. So I think it would be perfect to start my vlog with my high school experience. A little background. I actually wrote some stuff here, because I need like a little outline of what I'm going to talk about. But anyways, so a little background. Like I said, I just moved here 3 years ago. I am an incoming sophomore at Washington State University. Also, if you guys haven't seen my first video, that was it's not actually a vlog, it's just like my freshman year in a nutshell at Washington State University. It's basically just like my experiences, like pictures and videos with my friends and I. It's just like a little sneak peek of what college is like in America. But we will talk about that in a different video. Right now we're talking about my experiences in high school here in America, and also a little bit of like the difference between going to high school in the Philippines and going to high school here in America. Most of my high school was at St. Lorenzo School of Pulamanok Incorporated. Was not the best student there. I was kind of like a rule breaker, because in the Philippines it is very strict. Like you wear school uniforms. You have like a type A and type B, like a PE uniform and then like an actual school uniform. I'll show you guys a picture. So, talking about a rule breaker, I dyed my hair red at one point, and we were not supposed to do that. Like, we're not allowed to dye our hair. So that's like number one. You always have to wear your school uniform. And when you wear your school uniform, like your type A, you should always be wearing black leather school shoes, just like school shoes. And so I'm not really the type of person who follows. I don't know why. It's just like, I don't know. I can't even tell you. But anyways, I was always late because, it's super early in the morning. Like I said, we start at 7:15. Okay, we have probably like a 15-minute tricycle drive. I'll show you a picture of tricycle. I don't know. It's just a little, it takes me a while because it's hard to commute from where I live going to my school. I'm always late, and the punishment was to pull weeds. It's just like a punishment that they give us if you're late. You need to pull some weeds before you can go to your class. So I always get punished. My mom would always get called to the principal's office because I was always late. It's that bad. I also have multiple ear piercings, and that's a big no-no. Like you can't dye your hair, not even brown. You can't have multiple piercings. Heck, you probably can't wear makeup. I can't remember. You can't paint your nails, nothing like that. It's like really strict. So I was just a rule breaker. And I also was very involved in my old school. I joined the dance troupe. I also joined cheerleading, but at one point I have to choose which ones I want because I can't do both of them at the same time. I remember practicing with the dance troupe people, and then during their break I need to practice with the cheerleading, and it's just I just didn't have a break. So I decided that I just want to stay with the dance troupe because I love dancing more than doing stunts and stuff like that. And I was also very petite. I was so skinny and super small. I would make a perfect flyer, but it just didn't work out for me. Okay, so besides being a rule breaker, I am still an honor student back in my old school. So it's kind of like, I guess, like a balance of everything, but it's not always a good look. Okay, when I moved here, it was like the second semester of sophomore year. Also, a fun fact, I actually did my sophomore year, or grade 10, for a full year, because like I said, we started June and then we end at March. And then when I moved here, they started in August and ended June. So I start June when I was in the Philippines and I ended June here. So it was just like a roller coaster ride, honestly. I did my sophomore year for a whole year. I don't know, I just think that was cool, I guess. I don't know. My school was Pomeroy Junior Senior High School. It's like a mix of middle school and junior high school and senior high school. Junior high school in the Philippines is different. K to 12 is like a new system that they added a couple years ago. Okay, so back to the school. It's Pomeroy Junior Senior High School. We are the home of the Pirates. We wear orange and black, like our school colors are orange and black. My old school, the color was blue and gold and white. I don't know if that's actually the school color. It's just like what we wear. So okay, I thought that it was so easy here because the starting time, like they start school at 8:15, or you need to be in school by 8:15 because we have like a 15-minute assembly, and then class starts at 8:30. And also we end at 3:05. When I was in the Philippines, we start at 7:15 and then excuse me, and at 4 or 4:30, depending on your activities actually. And we don't wear school uniforms here. It's just like civilian clothes, which I struggled a lot because I got so used to just like wearing school uniforms and stuff like that, you know. I remember when I was still in the Philippines, I keep complaining like, why can't we not wear like civilian clothes, just like regular clothes? And then when I moved here, I was like, why can't we just have school uniforms? It's so hard to plan your outfit every day. I remember I started going to school during Valentine's Day. That was super cute. February 14 is when I started going to school. We got here January 27th, and I decided to at least give it like a couple of weeks before going to school because I want to know the area, get comfortable, and adjust for a little bit, you know. You don't want to get yourself too overwhelmed. So anyways, when I went to school, there's this one girl who showed me around before, you know, everything. Her name is Callie. She's the daughter of the principal at that time. So she showed me around. She showed me my locker combination. Because here we have lockers. In the Philippines, the students are the ones who are staying in the classroom. And then the teachers are the one moving around depending on like what class they're about to teach, you know. But here, we are the ones who's actually like moving different classrooms. So we have lockers, so we have our stuff there, so we don't have to keep carrying our backpacks. Adele, who was the secretary of the school, she's basically like the person who leads the assembly every morning. She introduced me to the whole school, right? She was like, guys, I'm so excited to tell you I have a new student. She's from the Philippines, yay! And then me being the new student, I was just like, well, okay, hi. So she made me stand up. So I stood up and then I just like looked around. I felt so awkward. Actually, as I was like making my outline, I started remembering everything and it kind of made me giggle. It's kind of like a throwback of like how I started. So like I said, I started going to school at February 14. It's Valentine's Day. And that's when I found out they do grams. I was so confused with like the whole thing. Explaining grams, it's kind of like their way of fundraising money for their clubs. Because you know how they have different activities and then they need money to do those types of activities. So that's their way of making money. And I remember during my lunchtime, I swear it felt like I was in the movie. So, you know, like in the movies, like they line up and then they get their food, like they choose like which ones they want. So that's how it was when I first got my lunch. So I was like on the line, I was so confused. I was just like, okay, I want this, I want that, I want this, and blah 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 blah. And then it was so funny because you know how like in the movies you like, if you're the new kid, you just like hold your tray and then you would like look around and see where you want to sit, right? So that was me at that exact moment. There's like different tables, you know, but like they all have their groups, and at that time I don't know anyone. I was just standing there, I was looking around, I felt awkward, like where should I sit, like who are these people, you know? And then a group of like seniors, like girls, invited me over to sit with them on their table, and they also helped me like what to do after I'm done eating. So that, my first lunchtime, I survived it, I guess. I was the type of person who's like super quiet. I was just being observant because like I don't know anyone, so I'm just like trying to see like what I can do, people I can like vibe with and stuff like that. Yeah, that was for like the most part of my sophomore year. Sophomore year is when I actually first experienced prom. That was my first prom. I went with Hallie, Olivia, Maya, and Asu. It was fun. Although like our school is very like small. You think about this, my graduating class at Pomeroy is like 36, 34, and that's one of the biggest class too. So by the end of my sophomore year, like we had this assembly. During the assembly, teachers were awarding some of my classmates and like some other people. They awarded them like being a part of like the National Honor Society. And so I was confused, like, what is that? Like, what is National Honor Society? But like, you know, honors, so like they're smart. That's what I was thinking. And so I started asking around, and they said like being a part of National Honor Society, that's when you have like a 2.5 or a 3.0 for 3 consecutive semesters. And so apparently those people were like smart because they got those like, you know, grade average. So I was like, that would be my goal, like before I graduate high school, I want to be a part of like the National Honor Society, you know? Like I just want to keep pushing myself to do better, you know? Because like I said, I wasn't really the best student when I was in the Philippines, so I kind of want to make up for that because, you know, I don't want to regret anything in the future, like, oh, I wish I did that, blah blah. I don't want to have that regret. So I was like, okay, that would be my goal. Before I graduate high school, I need to be a part of a National Honor Society. That was basically like my whole sophomore year. When I moved here, it felt like it was a breeze, honestly, because of like, you don't have to wake up early, you get out early, you know, and like classes are easy. I'm sorry, my dad came in my room telling me that I need to go to sleep because we need to wake up early to do some more yard work. But I need to finish this. Anyways, I just found out I was not recording myself. Anyways, next up is my junior year. This year I was actually coming out of my shell, coming out of my comfort zone, and I actually made friends. And my group of friends at this time was Vegas, which is my best friend, Asu, which is I'm really close with up until now. She's like also kind of like my best friend. And then Anna and Tiffany. I haven't talked to them in a while. I don't know. I hope you guys are doing good. Anyways, this was also the time I started taking college course classes, which is like transferable credits that you can take while you're in high school. It's like taking college classes in high school, and then when you go to college, those credits transfer, so you don't have to take those classes when you go to college. I was also gonna do Running Start. It is basically where you get your associate's degree while you're in high school, but the nearest community college is like 30 minutes away from here, 30 to 45 minutes away from here. And at that time I wasn't driving yet, I didn't have my license, so that was like a struggle, so I didn't do that. But luckily they have college in the high school option, so I did that instead. And then I took AP Bio, I took Honors English, and then I also took this history class. Also, AP Bio is kind of like it's kind of like a club. They also do the grams that I told you about earlier. And also they have like officers, right? They have to have officers in their club thing. I was a vice president. This was also the year where I first experienced homecoming. It's like a whole week of just activities and stuff like that. We have games during lunch, we have dress up days. On Fridays, that's when we usually dress with like our school spirit, like our orange and black, just like our pirate gears. And then usually on Fridays, that's when they have their football games, like their home football games. And that's also the time where they crown the homecoming princesses, homecoming prince, homecoming king and queen, and all of the other stuff. So that was super fun. I really enjoyed it. And then on Saturday, that's where like the homecoming, how can I say this? Homecoming dance. So that was fun. You get to, you know, dress all cute and stuff. My junior year was also my first detention. It didn't sound so great. This sounds so bad. I actually cried. I was so stressed. Okay, so this is what happened. Our teacher that I was supposed to be in a class with, they weren't able to make it because they had to go on an appointment and stuff like that. So they moved us to a different classroom, and then we have like a different teacher that would just like, you know, it's kind of like a study hall. Like they would just like watch you while they're also like teaching their class. So at that time, I really wasn't using my phone. I have my phone in my bag, and I was just trying to grab something, and then my teacher thought that I was using my phone. And knowing me, I didn't want to argue with the teacher. I didn't want to say anything. I don't want to talk back. So she was like, "Are you using your phone?" And I just looked at her and I just didn't want to say anything. So I just handed her my phone. I got lunch detention. I got 4 lunch detention. And I also have to turn in my phone at the office every time I like arrive at school. Like I need to turn it in for a whole week. And then I won't get it back to like the end of the day. So there was that. And then I didn't know that they were gonna send like a letter to your parents telling them that, oh yeah, because they got a lunch detention or something like that, blah blah blah. And I cried because that was the first time I got in trouble, and I got so scared. Then I explained to them what happened, and they were like, "It's fine." I got so weird. I don't want to be that bad student. Apparently it's not bad, but like I still got a detention. Junior year was also the time where I joined FBLA. So for those of you who don't know what FBLA is, it is Future Business Leaders of America. It's kind of like a club, and then you go compete. You choose what event you want to do, and then you go compete for districts, states, and nationals, you know, just like a competition. And then at that time, I decided to do broadcast journalism with xoxo. We actually got first place. That was my first competition. I actually didn't know what I was doing, but I know we were doing some broadcast journalism, and I just went with that. I don't know what was going to happen at the event. Like, I know nothing. But, you know, since I wanted to come out of my shell, like, do something productive, because I want to be more involved, you know? Like, I want to be out there, because I was so involved back when I was in the Philippines, and I didn't want to, like, you know, just be the new girl and like not do anything. So yeah, we won first place, and I was so proud of that. It was a fun experience. I really loved that. So like I said, I wanted to be more involved, so I decided to join ASB. Like, I want to be an ASB officer. ASB is Associated Student Body. It's kind of like SSG back in the Philippines. So I ran for secretary. I don't want to be ambitious, but like I wanted to run for president or vice president. But then I was thinking, I'm new here. I really don't know anything about like what they do in the school, like planning activities and stuff, because I'm still kind of like learning. Because this year was actually like me going to school for like a whole school year. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna run for secretary. And then a lot of people really liked my calligraphy, so they thought that my talent would be super useful if I am the secretary. Also, when I ran for secretary, no one really ran against me, so that I automatically got the position. But then I have to make a speech in front of the whole high school, and that was a little bit nerve-wracking, but I got over it. I survived. But the thing is, I didn't know that at the end of your speech, you get to you draw from like the little bin thingy, like a question. You need to pick your question, and then you have to answer it in front of everybody. And then I was caught off guard. Like, I'm telling you that I didn't know that we have to do that. And knowing me, I really don't want to talk in front of other people because I have like a little bit of stage fright, especially when you have to speak English and stuff like that. So I was so scared. I can't even remember what the question was. But also, I survived that one, so that was great. That was just embarrassing actually, but I survived, so that was okay. Secretary actually has more work than the other officers because the president basically just plans everything. The vice president just takes over the president. If she's not there, like, she acts as the president. The secretary is basically doing everything. Like, you have to make your agenda. So you have to meet with either the principal or the president to talk about the agenda. And then you have to record the minutes. And then after you record the minutes, you have to make copies. You need to make a copy for, like, the people who are in charge of ASB, whatever. You have to make a copy for the principal, and I also have to make a copy for myself. So literally, I am the busiest person in the whole officers. Junior year, I also got awarded with my first year academic letter award. You get that award when you have a GPA of 2.5 or higher for 2 consecutive semesters. And so I got my first letter award, and I was so happy because I was like, yeah, I actually got it. Moving on to my senior year. Don't worry guys, we're almost done. I actually kind of love talking about my experience. It's just a lot of talking. Anyway, senior year. This was the time I actually got super busy. This year I took 4 college classes. So I took college English, I took chemistry, I took stats, and then I also took addictions in the brain. I was taking those when I was a senior in high school, and it wasn't easy because on top of taking all of those college classes, I was an ASB officer. So I decided to run as an officer for FBOA. I was also a secretary, so it's kind of like the same thing as like being an ASB officer. Senior year, I also joined FFA. It is Future Farmers of America. It's kind of like FBOA where you pick an event and then you compete and stuff like that. I really didn't know what to do. I joined pep band. I also joined pep club. I also joined Knowledge Bowl, which is like a quiz bee. Okay, we get it, cause chill. I joined that, but I wasn't able to actually go and compete because I didn't have time, and I never really went to their review. Senior year was my busiest year ever. I was taking all of my college course classes. Those classes were hard. I'm telling you that. It was hard. This was the time where I get so many sleepless nights trying to finish everything. Because, you know, if you're taking college course classes and those credits are transferring to your college, you want to make sure you get A's. So I made sure that I need to do all of my schoolwork and then, you know, be a responsible student. Even if I'm an officer, that's still not an excuse that you can't do your homework. There was a lot of mental breakdowns during my senior year. I could not keep up with everything that's going on. Like, why did I put myself through this? Sometimes after school, you know, I would just be inside my car, blast some music, and start crying. I usually do it with my friend Asu. Yeah, that was a lot my senior year. But it was all worth it. I was so happy that I got to be nominated as like one of the candidates to be a part of National Honor Society. And then as soon as I got the letter, I was so happy. Like, I felt ecstatic. Like, it was great because like one of my goals, you know, like it's actually there. They also awarded me during one of the assemblies. They gave me a pin and stuff like that. I also ended up on a newspaper. Got the second year academic letter award. It was all worth it. Like, even if I struggled so much my junior year and senior year because I was taking college classes, I was an officer and stuff like that, different clubs and stuff, I accomplished stuff. During graduation, I was actually a part of like the principal's high honor rosters. I really worked my butt off. I graduated with a 3.9 GPA, although it was kind of like a struggle, but I made it, guys. I was a part of National Honor Society, which was my goal the first time I got here. I was an ASB officer, FBLA officer. I joined different clubs, you know. And I'm just thankful for like the support system that I have. My parents who've always been super supportive, who's always been there every time I have my mental breakdowns. They were just there. They were like, you know what, Kay, we're so proud of you. You know, they just keep encouraging me and telling me that I can do it. And I actually did. And I graduated with a $28,000 scholarship, which I'm very happy because it kind of covered my whole tuition. Okay, I think we are finally done. That was kind of like a long story. All I can say is that when you are just like the point where you don't know what to do or like you're struggling, I know in the Philippines they have like term papers or research papers they have to defend, and sometimes it can get super stressful. Trust me, I know. I think I wrote like 2, 3, 4 term papers. So yeah, I know what you guys have been through, but you know what? You just need to keep pushing forward. You need to like keep dreaming. Like you need to keep increasing your goal. Like once you're done with the goal that you already set and then you achieve that, set another standard. Like just keep going higher, you know? And I believe that you got this. You're smart, you're amazing, you got this. Just do whatever you think is best for you, do whatever you think is gonna help you in the future. And all I'm telling you is that do whatever you can today, because you don't want to regret anything in the future. Like looking back right now with what I did when I was in high school, I am beyond blessed. I am beyond thankful that I actually did those stuff, because like they helped me to be who I am today. Came out of my shell. I actually started doing stuff, being more involved in school, you know, which helped me in college, because then in college, like people ask you, oh yeah, I did this, I did that. You make connections, you know? So you don't want to regret anything. Do what you can today, then everything will come to place. It will all be worth it in the end. Trust me. Okay, so I guess it's time for me to go to bed. It's actually 11:25 in the evening. And I still need to wake up early in the morning. So I hope you guys like this. Let me know what you guys want me to talk about my next vlog. I hope it's gonna be more exciting than this one. Like, subscribe, help me spread the word, you know, share it.